Getting abs is simpler than you think. Not easy, not quick, but a lot simpler than whatever horror story your brain has cooked up about your metabolism dying a horrible death after the age of 30. If you've spent any time on Reddit, you'll hear guys complaining about some combination of busy job, plus kids, plus stress, plus beers, plus drive-thrus, plus I'll start on Monday, resulting in you having not taken your shirt off at the pool for the last 4 years. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 simple steps that I use with my clients to help them ditch the dad bod and be pretty excited to take their shirt off at the beach. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jake. I'm a men's fitness and nutrition coach. I help busy guys over 30 ditch the dad bod and get to the point where you walk past the mirror and think to yourself, damn, I'm looking good. Newsflash, most guys go to the gym, but what they're doing at the gym is not exactly training. They wander around, scroll Instagram between sets, sit on the machines like they're massage chairs, and then complain on Reddit that nothing's changing and it's impossible to lose fat after the age of 30. The truth is, you don't need to be training 6 days a week. You only probably need to train about 3 days a week for 45 minutes to 60 minutes at a time. These need to be serious sessions though. It's more about what you do when you're at the gym and less about the time spent there. The guys who do the best in my program see their training as a second job. They clock in like they're being paid to be there. Your future boss is you with abs, and your performance review is how you look in the mirror 4 weeks from now. This looks like training hard, consistently, filming your sets, and improving your technique week to week. You need to push your sets to about 1 rep from failure, and I would recommend going to failure so you know where your limits are. There is a massive difference between people who are locked in at the gym and people who are going through the motions at the gym. In my opinion, the number one reason why guys don't get the physiques that they want is actually not diet. It's the fact that they're not focused enough in the gym. A lot of guys eat plenty of protein and get in enough steps. Track your workouts, focus on consistency rep to rep, and give the exercises you do the respect that they deserve. This mindset shift alone is enough to get you well on your way to getting visible abs. You stop treating the gym as a social event and you start locking in, already gets you 50% of the way to having visible abs when you take your shirt off. Eating single ingredient food is a cheat code to fat loss without having to track every single calorie that you eat. Somewhere along the way in the 21st century, eating normal food, single ingredient food became eating clean, and living off snack foods and sugary drinks became normal. If you think just because you're eating single ingredient foods that's eating clean, that's probably where you're going wrong in terms of your nutrition. Eating single ingredient foods is not eating clean. It's eating like a grown-up. Shifting your diet to 80% single ingredient foods that your great grandmother would have recognized as food will see you trimming the fluff in no time. When I say single ingredient food, these are the sorts of things that I'm thinking of. Chicken breast, beef mince, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, potatoes, rice, oats, fruit, vegetables, I don't know if you've heard of them, the things that grow under the soil, olive oil, nuts, avocado, butter in sensible amounts. If your great grandmother would recognize these things as food, you're probably good to go. But if they would say, why is that thing you're drinking neon blue? Maybe that's not an everyday choice from a nutrition point of view. You don't have to be perfect, but if 80% of your diet comes from single ingredient foods, it will be very difficult to have a dad bod. It'll mean that you're fuller on fewer calories, you're eating enough protein to build and repair muscle, your energy isn't crashing all the time, and the scale starts to move. And this isn't me preaching, guys. This is just practical experience from having worked with many guys in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Sometimes it's as simple as increasing protein, removing junk food and sodas, and really locking in with their training. This is the secret sauce to get you where you want to go. And by the way, if you're thinking, Jake, this all sounds good, but I don't know what to cook and I don't know how much food to eat, I've put together my ultimate fat loss guide, high protein, simple recipes for every meal of the day. It also goes through my exact process that I use with the guys in my program to help them build muscle and lose fat. You can see that in the description of this video. And if you want to work directly with me in my one-to-one men's fitness and nutrition mentorship, the applications for coaching are also in the description of this video. At some point, as a man, you need to evolve from meal prep is choosing which takeaway I'm gonna get tonight to I can cook and feed myself like a functioning adult. Guys will talk about how they're too tired to cook and they live off DoorDash and Uber Eats, then in the same breath complain about how they've got the classic dad bod, and then blame it on their metabolism or something. As men, we really have no excuse when it comes to fat loss. Our bodies are not nearly as complicated as women's bodies. The reason you don't have the fitness results that you want is because of your habits. I can almost guarantee it's got nothing to do with genetics. The truth is, if the majority of food that you eat comes in a bag with a logo, you will not get lean. But I don't know how to cook. My mom cooked all my meals for me growing up. And no, guys, you don't have to become Gordon Ramsay.
Overcooked on the bottom, crispy as fuck, and it looks like Gandhi's flip-flop.
You just need an air fryer, throw in chicken, potatoes, veg, hit one button, done. A blender, smoothies and protein shakes, and 3 to 5 recipes that you can put together on autopilot. You can use my ultimate fat loss guide or the website eatthismuch.com, which will give you a lot of recipe inspiration. And then simply pick 2 to 3 protein options that you like, pick 2 to 3 starchy carb options that you like, pick a range of fruit and vegetables that you like, and frozen veg is allowed. Batch cook twice a week, 60 to 90 minutes on a Wednesday and a Sunday maybe. Being over 30 and admitting that you don't know how to cook is just a polite way of saying that you've completely outsourced your health to big corporations like Uber Eats that are responsible for getting the whole world fat, and you don't take responsibility for the way that you look. If you want abs, you cannot be scared of a chopping board. So in my experience of working with guys online, I've realized that nothing triggers a certain kind of guy more than saying, maybe you should drink less. When guys talk about how they've gained weight for the first time ever in their 30s and 40s, often the recurring culprit is the fact that they're drinking a lot more than they used to. 7 pints a week is about a day's worth of extra calories for a lot of guys. It adds up quickly, before you count the late night greasy fast food that the beer comes with. I'm not saying that you need to become a monk. I'm just saying you can't treat every Friday night like it's your friend's bachelor party. Here is the grown man compromise. Best case scenario would be no alcohol at all, but for a lot of guys, this is not realistic. So instead, what I say to the guys in my program is this: try to limit your alcohol intake to a single evening a week. So we're not drinking on multiple evenings throughout the week. You choose maybe a Friday or a Saturday night to be the one day of the week that you have some alcohol. Spirits plus sugar-free mixes is a better option from a calorie point of view than beer, and you should set a cap, so anywhere from 2 to 4 drinks. If you think of yourself as somebody who probably drinks too much and you adopt these strategies, you'll probably start to see the scale come down pretty quickly. To be honest, for most guys, it's as simple as this. You can either have regular heavy drinking or visible abs. You choose. And finally, guys, don't expect abs in 4 weeks. Most guys give up just before the good stuff starts to happen. Imagine it's January 1st, it's your New Year's resolution to get visible abs, and you give up the habit before Valentine's Day because you haven't seen that shredded six-pack yet. I see this kind of stuff all the time. A month or 2 of really good training, some progress in fat loss and muscle building, the weight loss starts to slow down a little bit, guys start to get a little bit complacent, their pants are fitting a little bit better, but they're not where they want to be yet. Then they think they've got this fitness thing down, so they start to get a little bit complacent. A couple of old habits start to creep back in, they miss a workout, they have a late night binge, and then they fall off the wagon completely and conclude that after 30 it's just impossible to have visible abs. But there are literally thousands of counterexamples of guys who are in the best shape of their life in their 30s and 40s. If you think you're too old to get into good shape, that is a self-limiting and a victim mindset. It's not your circumstances, it's not your genetics, it's your behavior. If you take full responsibility for your physical body, for a lot of guys who are a little bit skinny fat but not that overweight, getting visible abs within about 6 months is possible. And no, you don't need to starve yourself. You just need to treat your training like it matters, and you need to start eating like a grown-up. Most men can lose a serious amount of body fat, build enough muscle to actually both look and be athletic, and get to visible or nearly visible abs. Again, depending on where you're starting. I want you to think about where you were this time last year. That doesn't seem that long ago, does it? If you started back then and you focused on your training for 6 to 12 months, you could be that guy in a Reddit forum saying, I'm 40, I'm lean with visible abs, I'm in the best shape of my life. Instead of the guy posting and complaining that it's impossible after 30. It's not impossible, it just takes a while and it's a little bit boring. It's about simple, repeatable habits that you stick to for longer than it feels comfortable. Guys, if you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. The applications for one-on-one coaching with me in my men's fitness and nutrition coaching program are in the description. And check out this video next, which is my complete guide to body recomposition.